to Portland. We're here again for FurBowl VI, and oh my god, this is a very beautiful city here in Portland, and I'm Wes Carey, and next to me is a guy who almost cost us the actual McQuirkin on the show for some time, Cedric O'Toole. Cedric, how's it been?
Well, I mean, that's a hell of an introduction. I mean, first of all, sincerest apologies for that offhand comment about D'Angelo being too big to fit in the studio. That's obviously not true. If they could put my house in the studio, we could fit PA at any size he has ever been.
Yeah, if we could fit Tyrone in,
about that.
we could have fit him, and we can fit him in at any size he's at. So, again, sorry about the comments there. Cedric will be reprimanded at the end of the show. We will be garnishing his salary by 5%.
And nothing is the newspaper repeatedly.
Yeah.
Everyone will get the bad news of news. Everyone on the panel will get the bad news with a newspaper on the muzzle. Well, maybe not 100 times, a dozen times.
Well, at least you got the entertainment at the end of this to look forward to, because I've gotten big entertainment here. Former championship game performer here. They're going to perform at the end of the show. I'm looking forward to it. The guy I talked to said they've done multiple big games, and I'm telling you, it's going to be huge. And I'm gonna head over to Charles Bergeron. Charles, how you been?
It's been pretty good. It's good to be here in Portland. The crowd is really excited around us, getting into Riverside Stadium for the FurBowl show. Hey everyone, hello! Yay!
Okay, alright, that's good. That's good. Next to me is a guy, Hardley's team goes back to back. He owns the Texas Ramblers, he owns the Geelong Generals, and he owns the Scholastic's Formula 1 team. He's hoping to get all 3 championships this year. Talking, of course, to Jack Knight, and Jack, please keep those on.
Oh, do I have to?
Yes. For the sake of the show, yes.
Give me a second, let's do my belt back up. God damn it.
So, how are things going in the Night Sports Empire at the moment?
Well, it could be going better. Like you say, we're looking at our hopefully second championship title in the UFFL. Had a brilliant start off for both the Aussie rules and over in Formula 1. So, yeah, looking like to be a golden year for us.
Well, let's hope it stays that way. But heading on to our other guest, he is the boyfriend of Tyrone Appleby from Montreal. He is, of course, the center for the Edmonton Totems and the founder of the Emerald Regiment in the... I don't know what those initials stand for, but he'll tell us. Cassius Waterson. Cassius, welcome back to the show, buddy.
Hello. Thank you for having me back. In reply to Cedric's D'Angelo McQuirkin line, if you can fit my 330 pounds of fat ass into this place,
yes.
You can fit him into this place.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Expect your bapping to be a little extra hard from me. Yeah. Also, DBC stands for Drum and Bugle Corps. Emerald Regiment Drum and Bugle Corps. I'm starting up from back from when I used to march in Santa Clara and in Florida. Started one up in Edmonton with a couple of old friends of mine, and inaugural season this year. Also, screw you, FMZ. I'm not sexist. I made it male only so that I could protect my people. So, you, and stop trying to make me look like the bad guy all the time.
Okay, right. Look, I thank you for that. I'll just say that I honestly do believe that FMZ, even at the best of times, is gutter journalism. I just need to put that a bit lighter there because I don't know, just people get nuts on these things. I've seen last episode. You gotta clarify, which is fine. So you've done that. I've done that. FMZ, a gutter trash. Let's move on. And let's just say, we got a game to preview here, and I'll get to that in a minute. Just gotta get a call from my guy telling me what the entertainment is going to be. I will reveal it later in the show, but I gotta get a call. Any of you guys want to give some quick comments about the city of Portland?
Yeah, they need more Mallows.
Oh, Jack. No, but them being here in Portland this week, I mean, it's a beautiful city. It's a little gem here in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, obviously Seattle is probably the biggest city in this region people know about, but Portland is growing, and it's not hard to see why. There is a charm to this place. Stumptown here, as they call it.
Yeah.
Or the Rose City.
Right. Okay. Right.
It's a small town in a couple of ways that I think need to be modified a little bit. There's no spots. I can't even fit through doors. So I can't fit through doors in general, but you know, raise your
there's probably a few places in this world where you can't fit through the doors, Cat.
It's easier to count. It's easier to count the places I can fit.
Exactly.
Than the places I can't fit. I mean, I guess it can fit a little bit. I guess it can fit a little bit more since I got pancaked last year. But enough of my issues. Let's keep talking about Portland.
Right, just got back from my person. They're saying they'll be here by the end of the show. Still didn't tell me who they were, so I'm getting a little nervous, but I'm pretty sure they're big. We'll see.
Again?
Well, I'm right to that one scene from Scarface.
Jeez.
She got the money. I don't got it, but I got it close by. Like, why am I thinking of that?
Look, I don't know, but I think Portland's been a pretty beautiful town, pretty nice to us, pretty nice to the players, the coaches, and that. I think great hosts here. I think it's time to do a mini around the world. So, what is this? Round half the world, round core of the world, or just round a small
round the
world?
middle of the football corner of the world, it looks like.
Okay, we're going around my globe. So around the globe, I guess. So let's do that.
Yeah, maybe not so much around the world, more so jog around the block.
Yeah.
So straight talk, essentially.
It's around the pigskin, really.
Taking it. We had the panel, we had the media panel, all the players and coaches were there. Right.
Media day, I mean, you did a couple of questions here, and I did a couple of questions myself. It's always been a very important moment in the FurBowl, as last Sunday everyone was able to talk a little bit about their expectation during the games. It was pretty special.
Certainly was. Anyone else got anything to say about it? So it's kind of, I had to quickly just fix something up there because something fell down behind the set behind us. So.
Oh god.
Right, well.
So is that what that banging was?
Yeah, that's what that banging was.
Okay. I thought it was another earthquake. But then I realized I hadn't fallen, so couldn't be an earthquake. But you know, I'm used to having cameras on my face all the time anyway. So media day was weird. Actually.
And you were there to support your boyfriend, and
I was there.
I'm sure that
Hello?
I'm sure there was pretty important, and I think from what I've seen, we got a couple of clips from the actual show and to see what's really gone on during that maybe a day.
You are dead.
I have a question for Matthew Mashiosha. How are you going to prepare to face the offense of Texas in FurBowl VI?
Well, we know that Texas has a pretty dangerous offense, but we've been working hard this season. We did a lot of improvement. Especially, I know it's going to be tough because we lost Pat Snow during the season, but I think Isaac Hunt and the rest of the defense is going to step up pretty well. We got to be careful not giving too much to especially against Calder, but I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to have a perfect game plan against them. I got a question for Tyron. How does it feel to be there in the FurBowl and facing last year MVP Andrew Calder for this matchup?
It's a very big task. I come from Georgia. I mean, it's been my dream to play in the FurBowl these years, and finally to get it done. I mean, it's a big dream, but it's only one part of the job. You know, you gotta win the FurBowl. I mean, you can't lose it. I mean, it'll define your career. I mean, Podgy Wolf like myself's pretty much been kind of stocking up in that, and I mean, I might be bigger than Calder, but I think the challenge is probably bigger than me, and I think we're gonna need to pull through here and really put it forward. I mean, I've been talking to the guys and gals here, and it's very good. I mean, we think we can do it, but we got to put our best foot forward here. Texas aren't something to sneeze about here. I have a question for Andrew Calder. What are your expectations facing Montreal in this year's FurBowl?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a great battle between me and Tyron, I expect, and honestly, I'm looking forward to the challenge. I relish the challenge. I think Texas has been doubted pretty much since that mid-season stretch where we lost 4 or 5. We were doubted coming into the playoffs. We were doubted coming into the conference championship game. We were doubted coming into this game because, well, no one's won 2 FurBowls in a row before. No one's won 2 championships in a row before in the UFFL. And yeah, and I think it sounds odd to say, but I consider us the underdogs, and I'm rallying my team behind that.
I've got a question for Jack Knight. What do you think is going to be different this year, trying to go for back-to-back FurBowl victories?
The only thing that's going to be different is maybe how I hold the trophy. I don't know. But yeah, in terms of the game, it's like I know Montreal ain't to be sneezed at. But just look at their recent results in both the divisional and conference championship games. It's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I think we were lucky to get it last year, let alone how we're still in this. I'm surprised, considering our form in the second half of the season. But yeah, obviously I've been going over Montreal's games as well, looking over this where they've been winning, losing, etc. So yeah, it'll be good. Hopefully.
That was a pretty eventful media day there. I mean, I was expecting you to be a bit more braggadocious there, but you seem to be very honest about it, which I'll give you credit for. Sometimes you're not exactly the most honest, but I'm glad you were there.
Yeah, just like, well, my sister and my mother's been telling me off about being a bit too big-headed. So, like, yeah, I had to tone it down a bit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I think that's good.
I don't know.
Because I wanted to have my mother's cake shop at the FurBowl, like, Coroner's cake. So it's like I wanted to do that, but he said, "Oh, I don't be such a big-headed asshole."
Well, those are words, but yeah, I think that's about right. Kaz, I mean, your boyfriend was very honest about their chances, and I think how's he been feeling about it?
I mean, of course, nervous, happy. I've been ecstatic for it, but also extremely nervous. As is normal. I mean, when you could be literally one snap away from winning the ring, from grabbing the brass ring for the rest of your life, it can put a lot on you. I mean, and it's obvious he's been taking it a little bit to heart, but it's not like that's terrible. I mean, he's definitely. I've been trying to get him to not take it too seriously, but then like also take it seriously because it's your one chance really to get that brass ring.
Certainly, I mean you gotta really take your shots here. I mean, Charles, you were there. There was a lot of talk. I mean, you got a few questions in. I mean, what was the feeling? What was the feeling?
Well, everyone seems to be pretty excited to be there. I know Montreal's been really excited from the moment. I mean, after the tough season that ended rather badly last year, to be there after missing the playoffs, it was really surreal, especially how far we've been since we took over the fledgling Abilene Lancer franchise, and we've been able to they've been able to build the team as such in such a short while. It's been really interesting.
Certainly, I mean this has been a big turnaround for this franchise. I mean,
pretty remarkable. Yes, I mean, from what I remember, Abilene was in a pretty poor state.
Yeah, they were not very good at all, and then they moved to Montreal. They managed to build up this roster, and they're pretty much now here at the FurBowl. I mean, in another world, this would be an old Texas slog, but in this world, it's Texas versus the Great White North. This is going to be a very interesting matchup, and let's get into it right now, as we're going to have a look at the matchup, Montreal versus Texas. And guys, starting off with Montreal, they had a season record of 9-6-1, first in a packed United East Conference. A bit inconsistent, but Tyron Appleby has been healthy most of the season, and that has been their key.
Yep.
Excuse me. Divisional playoffs.
No argument back.
Divisional playoffs, they defeated Easton 30-6 in a drubbing, and then they did again to Nashville 31-7 in the United Conference Championship to claim the United Conference and the spot here. And I think, guys, I mean, we've talked a bit about them, but I mean, this is pretty much going to be their big test. I mean, they're finally here. I mean, what have they need to do? I mean, we're going to get to some of the things here, but what are your first thoughts on it? I'll start with Cedric.
Well, I mean, Montreal, I mean, they were up and down for a good chunk of the season. I mean, you had to go until, like, really week 11 is where they started to string some wins together. Like, really the second half of the season, they started to round into form. And then they tied with Grand Rapids in week 16, which is, well, I'll be honest, heading into the playoffs, that concerns me because, well, Grand Rapids was not good this year. They were the worst team in the league, and they barely managed to tie with them. But I think they pretty much answered all of the critics so far. I mean, you see the two scores in their playoff games, two very convincing victories. So, There's a lot to like about this team. You see, I mean, as you said, Tyrone Appleby healthy has been very important. He got hurt, I think it was late last season, and missed the playoffs. You've got the top 10 running back in Lucas Stika, and one of the great receivers in the league, Deontay Hughes. I mean, second in receiving yards in the league. This is second season, so he's been incredible.
Certainly has been.
And they have a solid defense as well.
Mm-hmm.
That linebacker Jetty Abraham is fourth in the league in tackle. They got a defensive end Daryl Hearn who has 8 sacks on the season. That's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot to like about the Royals, for sure.
Certainly, you got a lot to like about this team. I'm gonna go Charles here. I'm gonna keep Kaz and Jack kind of out of this for the moment. I'll come back to you guys. Kind of. Well, I mean, you're gonna be kind of biased about it. I mean, Kaz, you're gonna be for your boyfriend, and Jack, you're of course gonna be for the team you own. So I mean,
of course, I can sum. If you want me to, I can sum up what I think about the Royal in 3 words: Montreal suck dick.
Alright, you want a short summary, Kaz, before I move on to Charles?
3-word summary. I'll do a 7-word summary. Tyrone is the world's largest love machine.
Okay,
doesn't have much to do with the game, but we'll go with that.
I am not gonna say a thing for that one.
Well, if I can talk
Where's
about
Matt Lewis when you need him? Somewhere, but we'll go to Charles. Go ahead.
Thank you. The season's been pretty rough at times. I know there was some inconsistency concerns. Like my Cedric said, we had a tough time, to put some streaks together. Every time we seem to get a good game going, the week after we sort of dropped the ball a bit, but eventually we did. They did get into it when it counted, especially that big game at the end of the season against the Portland Roses, where everything seemed to click. The offense, the defense, everyone was going all cylinders. It kind of had a little bit of revenge on Portland, because last year it was because of them that they dashed Montreal playoff hopes. But other than that, it's been pretty much some big dominating playoff performance that shown that when this team is clicking, it's really a good, dangerous team.
I mean, it certainly is. I mean, I love watching this team. I will tell you, I love watching both of these teams. Like, this is pretty much a match I've wanted to see in the FurBowl for a while, and we've got it. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, personally, I think probably Montreal, to me, have the edge in the offensive category. I mean, not to say anything against Calder or very much Jacqueline Knight, but I think you got Hughes, Logustica, and Appleby there, and I think that's going to be a bit hard to stop in my book. But yeah, well, I mean, we got. Anyone else want to interject their thoughts? I mean, Jack, do you want to go a bit more in detail, or Kaz, do you want to go a bit more in detail? Oh,
hey, you're saying about the crystal, all I need is a blooming fly swatter, and I'll be good.
There's another quote. There's another quote.
I'm going to just say that, Tyron Appleby, to say it lightly, he's a robust lad, and, I dare say that,
robust like you.
I'm sorry, Jack, but your quarterback is about to get smited to hell and then sat on.
That's if Applebee can fit his fat ass out of the damn buffet.
All right. Let's stop. We got three expert panelists and 2 comedians here. So, right.
And let's talk about the Ramblers. The Ramblers road to the FurBowl.
You're acting like one. Anyway, let's get on with Texas here. And they had a season record of 10-6, number 1 in the Continental West. First 8 games were unstoppable at 6-2, and then last 8 kind of started to have a bit of the uh-ohs, and very much went 4-4. So pretty much got a bit of mediocrity there at the end. Divisional playoffs, they did all right against Miami. They pretty much beat them by 10 points, so a very much resounding win there. But when it came against Fargo, it almost came apart here. Only won 38-34. Fargo gotta be stinging at this point, but Texas better be thanking their lucky stars that they got over the line, because it could have been vastly different this weekend. But I'm gonna go Cedric Key. Your thoughts on Texas?
Well, I mean,
remember, I'm here right now.
Yes, I'm not.
Don't let him to tell you. Don't let him to tell you. Say what you want to say. I will slap that dragon if I have to.
Go on, St. George. No, but I mean, well, Texas is sort of similar to the Ramblers in that, well, the regular season, not the most consistent. I mean, you mentioned the strong start, not so strong second half. I mean, it does and it doesn't do them justice. There was a 5-week stretch from week 8 to week 12 where they lost 4 out of 5. But they did beat Baltimore, and they won 3 out of 4 to end the season, which, well, that's what they needed to do to get here, to make the playoffs, to win their division, and they pulled out. Well, there was a comeback from behind win against Miami, and a close win in the back and forth game in the conference championship, and here they are. So, I mean, I think when you look at both of these teams, these are 2 teams that have very much risen to the occasion. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, that is very fair to say. Like these are teams that have risen to the occasion, and a lot of the time we do get ones that do, and a lot of times we get ones that just kind of get in through kind of luck. I mean, I've seen it before, but I mean, this isn't the case here. I think we got 2 decent teams here, and we should be in for a decent matchup. I'm going to go to Charles to talk about Texas. Your thoughts on them?
Like I said, there was a lot of expectation being the defending FurBowl champs. The season really started to be different, especially when they lost Kevin Cousineau from free agency. And from there, we were questioning ourselves if the defense is going to be as well as it's been. But with Logan Vertanen and Jamarcus Tripper, they did handle themselves pretty well. Especially, but like I said, for a while, especially the second stretch of the season, we were asking ourselves, well, the Ramblers even going to make the playoffs, but eventually they shown some guts, really gutsy performance, because, like we said, the last game everyone thought they was as good as dead when they faced the almighty push of the Las Vegas Bandits, that was winning like 9 straight, and they were only. Everyone sold them short, and at the end of the day, they sort of woke up and beat Vegas to get to the playoff. And then, when you thought it was going to be any easier, they faced Miami, that one of the best defense of the season, and they came back from behind to beat them, and especially the conference continental championship against Fargo will go down in history as one of the greatest games of the UFFL playoff picture. Yeah, especially that first quarter that was really nuts.
Action
pack, and they shown that among any problems, they rise to the occasion and shown that they did deserve to have won that first FurBowl. So on the other hand, we had the Montreal team that looked iffy, but they shown that they can do it when everyone is clicking, and the Ramblers, which were almost invincible last year, and they shown that they still deserve to be there. So it's going to be a great FurBowl.
I certainly agree with that. This is going to be a contest the world's going to be tuning into, and this is going to be a contest that they're all going to enjoy. Like, I know Seagull Network's got the rights over in Australia at the moment, and I think Vulpus here in America have the rights, so maybe get some radio commentary there. I mean, their main guys kind of
your American corporate cousins, so to speak.
Yeah, very much. But I was going to say, like, their main call, get the radio on. He can be a bit dry at times. Hey, I can't get suspended for saying that because I don't even work for the American subsidiary. Like, but hey, I'm gonna go to Kaz and Jack. Your thoughts on the Texas Ramblers at the moment?
Trying to think here.
We'll go to Jack first. We'll probably.
We have an otter falling asleep. Do you have a giant otter falling asleep here?
Yeah, we got a giant otter falling asleep.
Like pokey.
Alright, come on, Jack. Give us what you think about this team. No fluff pieces. No corporate spiel. No, we're gonna win because we're gonna win. Give us just the straight up what it is. Your thoughts.
You pretty much just shut down everything I was about to say.
Look, you're on here to give your thoughts, not sell season tickets and all that. Just give us your actual thoughts, please.
But yeah, it's like, like I said, we did have quite a big loss, both literally and figuratively, with Cousineau going. And that's why I'm thinking, would my defense be up to the task? And like you were saying, Vertanen and Triper have been admirably, stepped up to the plate. But obviously,
Triper, I would add the rookie Jared Clemens to that, who's in the Rookie of the Year conversation on the defensive side of the ball.
Too true, and that, we had to, try to, fill in Cousineau's big shoes. And I'm hoping the guys have done that. Hopefully picked up, you say, defensive Rookie of the Year, hopefully. And I just hope to see if those guys can, pull out the bag again against Montreal.
Yeah, well, that's certainly a good way to put it, Jack. I mean, I appreciate you doing that because, this is a show. People want to know actual thoughts, not PR stuff. Save that for the social media account and the investors, buddy. And as your thoughts on Texas, or if you have any thoughts on it.
I mean, Texas has got I've been trying to watch a little bit, but I haven't really been able to with the interception schedules and everything. But from what I've heard, is Texas is one hell of a team. They're going to be a very tough nut to crack. But I have to go with my boy and say, Montreal's good. Montreal definitely has a pretty good chance of taking them out, but Texas, I hear, is a pretty tough customer.
Certainly, that's a good way to put it. But moving on to the matchup they had in the season. We already talked about a bit of the key matchups, but we'll come back to them very quickly. before we give our final thoughts. We had one matchup between these two teams this season, Week 8, and Montreal came out on top against Texas, 34-28. Offensive player of the game was Keontae Hughes from Montreal, wide receiver, 6 receptions, 139 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Good game from him. Meanwhile, Texas got the defensive player of the game, Alexander McIntosh, linebacker from Texas, 6 tackles and 1 sack. Decent grab. I mean, the offensive stats kind of look better to me, but I'm an offensive guy by nature, so I'm not really the best on defense. But moving on to the quarterbacks, Calder got 18 passes on the 30 attempts, 272 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 INT for a quarterback rating of 109.3%. And Tyron Appleby got 24 passes off 29 attempts, less yardage with 162. More touchdowns with 4 touchdowns and no INTs for a rating of 143.9. Great game from him there. He was the better quarterback out of the two. And I think you look at the turnovers, Texas gave over the ball twice, Montreal did not, and that was probably the key to that game. So that will...
because that's why I think, overall, it's going to be we can pretty much call this FurBowl a battle of the quarterbacks. Because both Appleby, Calder, as, not to blow smoke out my own rear end too much, he's been, my diamond I picked up from free agency back in Season 1 when I booted out Jesus. He's been, the mainstay and the star of Texas ever since. Obviously, not to downplay Appleby, but Calder is one of the best in the league today. And then obviously, Appleby in his own right is extremely talented. So that's why I think this bowl is going to be a battle of the quarterbacks.
I can't disagree with that.
Can't disagree with that either. Very good observation.
Two of the best quarterbacks in the league for sure, these two quarterbacks, their kind of backstory kind of mirrors the battle that teams had to get there this year. I mean, you had, of course, Tyron Appleby, who is certainly not in the ideal mode of a pro football quarterback. I mean, he looks more like one of his offensive linemen. But he gets the job done, obviously. And Calder, he was undrafted. And he's gone on to become one of the best himself. FurBowl champion and an MVP caliber quarterback. As Appleby.
And also, if I may make the announcement here while we're talking about, I did this with Curtis Pike and Cousineau last season, but I'd just like to announce that Druzy Calder, as he's his nickname in the locker room, is going to be part of this year's class of the Texas Hall of Fame for his obviously work in the quarterback position.
Okay, that's very early to be doing a Hall of Fame announcement for a guy, but I don't begrudge you for doing that. But he is a talented guy, so that's pretty good.
Jack owns the team; he can do what he wants.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, my own team, damn it! So.
Brian Sharroff entered your long Hall of Fame when? Dunno. But moving on to Charles.
That game was pretty much a big matchup. Both teams seems to be running at full speed. The passing was really up to par. Like Appleby really played some mistake-free football. He was really efficient. Same as Calder. The game he had, there was nothing to sneeze at. But he had a good game, but eventually it was a matter of a small little mistake, and those two turnovers ended up costing Texas. So it'd be interesting to see. This game is really going to be a matter of turnovers over that season.
Guys, I think our art is falling asleep here.
Oh no. Could someone get him off the set?
Yeah, someone gave him a bet. I think he needs.
We have a couple FBA big pros around anywhere.
Oh jeez. It's okay. We can leave him on the set if we have to for the moment. We'll wake him up before the game. I think he's just a bit pooped out from the week. Can't blame him.
Yeah, we really thank Cass for being here. I mean, the staff helped them out just in a short bit, but we still can do this with our panel.
I mean, we're almost done here, I think. So, I mean, it's okay. I mean, we just gotta kind of go through things. I mean, you guys kind of talked about the match. I think that game will be, I think, will tell the tale for this game, because I think you got two great quarterbacks in key players of Tyrone Appleby, third in passing yards, fourth in TDs, first in quarterback rating against Andrew Calder, second in passing yards, first in TDs, but third in quarterback rating. So that's going to be good for them. Meanwhile, you got on the rushing, you got Vito Lagustica, 9th in rushing yards against Ricky Woodricky, 7th in rushing yards. And then you got receiving, you got I forgot the guy's name. Keontae Hughes, 2nd in receiving yards for Montreal, and then Jacqueline Knight, 4th in receiving yards for Texas. We look at the season rankings. Montreal, 5th in points, 3rd in yards, 7th in rushing, 3rd in passing against Texas, 1st in points, 2nd in yards, 9th in rushing, and 2nd in pass. I think those will be your keys to the game. I mean, this is going to be an offensive affair, I believe. I mean, if anything is to show from the last time they met, this is what it will be. And Jack is right. This will be a test of both quarterbacks right here, right now. And I think if we just...
I would agree with that statement. I think there's good reason to believe that this game is going to look a lot like the regular season matchup, which was a pretty tight, high-scoring affair, great battle between two quarterbacks. And like Charles said, I think it's going to come down to which team makes the least mistakes. If you can avoid turning the ball over, you're going to win the game. Which is true in any game, but I think it's especially true here.
And looking at the defense here quickly, I'll come back to Charles in a minute. Just Montreal were 9th in points allowed, 6th in yards allowed, 7th in rush. 7th in rush, 5th in pass. Jenny Abrams is 4th in tackles, and a linebacker. You got Isaac Hunt in the cornerback position, 2 interceptions this season, and in the defensive end, you've got Daryl Hearn with 8 sacks. Very much a better defense in Texas here. 13th in points, 15th in yards, 12th in rush, 16th in pass. Their free safeties are the only ones that are really major players in Clyde Dallon and Derek Overton, first and second in interceptions respectively. This is going to, I think we looked at it here, this is going to be an offensive affair, and certainly this will be a tight matchup. And Charles, your thoughts on how the game will go?
It's really special to see because, yes, Texas seems to add surprisingly low ratings in terms of defense. Against, you have to ask, is the fact that Kevin Cousineau's been leaving the Ramblers in the offseason, but it can be rather deceptively because, like we said, the Ramblers' offense really stepped up in terms of points, and the defense can be rather deceptive. Like I said, Clyde DeLeon and Derek Overton can be very lethal in the secondary. So if Montreal is not careful, those guys can pick up crucial interception and really turn the tide of the game. It's really going to see if the things the performance of the defense really going to matter for Texas because I think this can be rather deceptive in terms of stats because we know that they still got some great players that mesh well in chemistry, especially with Triper and Vertan.
Certainly, I would agree with that. Jack, your thoughts on how this game's going to go?
Well, like I said earlier on, it's going to really boil down to both Calder and Appleby here. But like you said, like Bergerman just said, is like, well, we haven't been overly hard on defense this year. Any team can pull out the stops any day. It's like you could have statistically the worst team in history, yet you can all of a sudden, boom, have an absolute stellar game where you beat the ever-living shit at the other side. It's like, anything can happen, especially in a big game like the FurBowl where everything's on the line. Something could suddenly spark and then like that, everything just falls into place. Or like say, generally we are quite an offense-focused team, and if we can hopefully churn out enough points, it might not matter.
Certainly. I mean, it's really going to be a game of pretty much the haves and have-nots really here. It's like you really just have to kind of play the big game. It's really like you can't go in there expecting to win. You can't go in there with the mindset you're going to lose. You have to just go in there that you're going to have a contest and you need to fight for it. So, guys, you've given your thoughts on how the game will go. So, I'm going to give you to give me a quick sentence or two on the situations and how you believe them. Okay, first off, with Cedric, Montreal will win the FurBowl if they do what?
Alright, well, Montreal will win the FurBowl Montreal will win the FurBowl if Tyron Appleby can repeat his performance from their regular season matchup, which, great game for him, as we mentioned before. I mean, it was 24 of 29 for over 260 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, a great quarterback rating, and yes, I think, as we've been saying, whichever quarterback comes out on top is going to be key. So Tyron repeating his performance, and I'm also going to say Jetty Abrahams and Daryl Hearn getting pressure on Calder is also going.
Right.
So they will win the FurBowl. But yes, they will win the FurBowl. Tyron repeats his performance from week 8, and Abrahams and Hearn get pressure on Calder.
Alright, Charles. Montreal will win the FurBowl if...
Montreal's going to win the FurBowl if they show up as consistently as they've been during the playoff, especially like that game they had against Portland, and also that game against the Texas. Tyron are probably going to have to be efficient and mistake-free, especially, and also same thing for the offense. Limit the turnovers and play at the full of their capacity.
Right, I'm getting a quick call from my guy for the entertainment. He's about to tell me who they are. I'll give it to Cedric here. Well, I should give it to Jack here. Montreal will win the FurBowl if...
I don't even need to answer that because they're not going to.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I gotta get on the call. Cedric, Texas will win the FurBowl if...
Well, Texas will win the FurBowl if, basically, Calder can... basically if the team can avoid turning the ball over this time around. And also, if DeLeon and Overton manage to jump some routes and get 1 or 2 timely interceptions off Appleby, which will be easier said than done, considering how good of a quarterback he is, how good he is at leading a defense. But yes, that's what I think is going to need to happen for Texas to win. Basically, that offense needs to avoid turning the ball over. DeLeon and Overton need to get 1 or 2 opportunistic turnovers.
All right, yeah, right, just hold for a minute. I gotta finish this. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, they really do need to do that. I'll go to Charles. Texas won the FurBowl if.
Texas going to win the FurBowl if the first half of the season Texas shows up, and especially if they can limit the turnovers. I mean, Cedric said it itself. That Texas team is going to have to show up, not the team of the second half. They're going to have to really rely on their explosive offense in order, because it could very well be a shootout, and it's going to be a question that who's able to outscore the other. Yes, it's really going to come down to keep the offense going and be real opportunistic if there's turnovers that happen. You got interception, Texas going to need to capitalize on them in points.
Certainly, I agree. And Jack, Texas will win the FurBowl if
we just turn up.
Great advice.
Yeah. No medals for you. Give me your bag.
No, mine. No, give it.
All right. Okay. Right. I need to finish. Right. Montreal will win the FurBowl if Tyron Appleby puts in an MVP performance. Simple as that. If he puts in an MVP performance, I think they'll win. He just has to play the game that he needs to play. And I think Texas will win the FurBowl if their defense can turn up and play well. Like, they've got the key players who know they can win this game, and they've got all this and that, but they need their defense to turn up, otherwise they're going to be in a scoring shootout, and if you're in a scoring shootout with Montreal, that doesn't end well. So, those are your thoughts. Final predictions, guys. I'm going to go, Cedric, your thoughts, who wins, and what's the final score?
So, alright. So, I mean, yes. So as we said, very even these two teams, very evenly matched. If, statistics are anything to go by, how their season's gone or anything to go by, if their Week 8 matchup is anything to go by. But I will say, I'm going to pick the Royal to win 32-28.
I'm going to go with Charles. Who is your prediction? What's the score going to be?
Well, unlike Jack here, I try to be biased about my prediction, even if I've been following the Royal for a while. It's going to be a real tough game, but I like. In general, I like how the Montreal team has been pretty consistent, especially on our defensive categories. I mean, they've been top 10 for all offense and defense, and I think it's going to be a real key for that game. You're going to have to be careful about the turnovers and also bend but not break against Texas big offense. So, like I said, with great reasons in mind, I think Montreal has a fair shot of getting the FurBowl. I'll say maybe a score of 28-21.
Okay. I'm going to go to Jack. What's your prediction and what's your final score?
Well, of course I'm going to say, not going to say Montreal, am I? It's going to be Texas. It's going to be a blowout. That's what I'm anticipating. 32-7.
I don't think many people are with you in this room, but I got the balls to put it out there, so... Right.
Yeah, we got the balls, and then the balls are going to be going all the way down there.
Right, Jack.
And me, your Mallow again.
Right, guys, calm down. For the love of God, calm down, please.
Hey, you keep saying my Mallow, damn it.
I'm sorry.
Right, okay, can I just say my final predictions? I think it's going to be a close game. I mean, I always predict it to be a close game. I mean, if it's a blowout game, then it's a terrible FurBowl. Simple as that. That's going to be a close game. It's going to come down to the quarterbacks. And, yep. And I'm going to say this. I think we're going into overtime here. I think we're going to be going into overtime. Scores are tied. Everything on the line. Tyron Alperby gives it to Hughes. Hughes catches it, gets into the end zone. Montreal win in overtime, 37-31.
All right.
So, I'm gonna finally ask this guy who he's got, because it's the end of the show and I still don't know who it is. Yeah, right. Okay, what's the entertainment we got here? Because you've been saying that this is a big entertainment act from who's performed championship games, and you haven't told me who it is. Now tell me. Yeah. Okay, they've performed multiple times.
All right.
You're fucking joking me, buddy. You're fucking joking me. That's what we've got? Oh, for Christ's sake. Do you guys want to take a guess on who it could be?
That's
Tim, just said Timberwolf.
Yeah.
How about Bruce Springsteen?
No.
You too?
I wish it was U2. I wish it was them. Like, I'm a big fan of them. I wish it was them. It's not them.
Oh,
That guy Peacock?
No.
Oh, please say it's Lady Baba. I had a crush on her ever since I was a teen.
No.
Oh.
What is it?
Are they going on? Well, are they trying to think old school up to months?
No.
You?
No. It's friggin' Up With Animals.
Oh, I actually remember them. Didn't
Yeah.
they do a game? They did an FA. God, they were the first to do the UFFL championship in the 70s.
Yep.
What the hell have they been up to these days?
Well, it's an organization, you'll find, Cedric, and this is the bloody organization we got to perform here. So, to perform Up With People, Up With Animals. We'll see you next time on FSN.
Happy FurBowl,
Well, it
everyone.
happened just this morning as I was walking down the streets. A milkman and a postman and a policeman I did meet. There in every window and in every single door, I recognize people I never noticed before.
Up with people, you meet them wherever you go. Up with people, they're the best kind of folks we know. If more people work for people, all people everywhere, there'd be a lot less people to worry about, and a lot more people who care. A lot less people to worry about, and a lot more people who care. people to worry about, and a lot more people who care. A lot less people to worry about, and a lot more people who care. Up with people, you need them wherever you go. Up with people, they're the best kind of folks we know. If more people were more people on people everywhere, there'd be a lot less people to worry about, and a lot more people who care. A lot less people to worry about, and a lot more people who care. Yeah, 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 a lot more people who care. Everybody say a lot more people everywhere.
It's a grand old game, American football. While baseball may be the nation's favorite pastime, gridiron has proven time and time again to be a people's game. People who support this game through thick or thin. People who have passion to play this game. People like Tyrone Appleby, the pride of Montreal. Let me tell you about Tyrone Appleby, a 330-pound Timberwolf from Georgia. He was a kid who never got a shot at the position he loved to play, quarterback, until he shocked the world with his rocket arm. The Pudgy Wolf has broken many barriers in this sport, and tonight he has a chance to write his name into the record books as the FurBowl champion. A win tonight would not only cement his legend, but perhaps even inspire other larger quarterbacks to pop up in the future. Of course, the future is something Jack Knight will have his eyes on tonight. Him and Michael Rooney have built a potential dynasty in Texas, with players such as Andrew Calder, Ricky Whit-Ricky, and Jacqueline Knight creating their legacy here. A win tonight for Texas would not only establish the Ramblers as the first UFFL dynasty, but it would also boost the credentials of Knight. The Dragons, so heavily invested in the Texas Ramblers in the UFFL, along with the Geelong Generals in the FAFL, and the Scaletrix Formula 1 team in F1, has always demanded success from his teams. A win tonight would have him take a step closer to being considered the best sporting administrator the world has ever seen, and that is a legacy the young Dragon will be proud to be bestowed. But while Texas will be cheering on their dear Ramblers, they'll have to drown out the support of the Royale by the Great White North. Tonight is an historic occasion. For the first time, a team from north of the border in Canada will be charging for American football's highest prize, the UFFL Championship. Names like Vito Lagustica, Severio Anthony, Keontae Hughes, and Jetty Abrams, along with the aforementioned Tyrone Appleby, have become stars in Canada. They are the pride of a nation. If Matthew Machiosha and his players get over the line tonight, the UFFL Championship will truly have become a world championship. And that is something that the people of Canada will be hoping and praying for. People. It's who built and defined this game. Millions of them will have their eyes focused on Portland tonight for 60 minutes of hard-fought UFFL football. By the end of tonight, they'll have seen one team define their legacy and be crowned FurBowl champions. Tonight, it's Texas versus Montreal for the greatest prize in American football. Tonight, it's FurBowl VI. The world is watching.
check. It wasn't easy, but nothing is. No. when I was young. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. Woo! When I feel heavy metal, woo-hoo. And I feel that I need a woo. When I lie and I'm easy all of the time, but I'm never sure why I need you. Please let me down. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, welcome everyone to this year FurBowl live from Portland. Marty here on commentary with the help of our good friend and fellow commissioner, Manuel.
Hello. Welcome to FurBowl VI.
So, 6, we, after so many things that happened this season, we're down to the last game of this quite a big season we had today, and we might again see some history between Montreal and Texas. As will Texas be able to do what Chicago was unable to manage the other game last year?
It's essentially similar to the Outlaws in that the Ramblers are coming back to the FurBowl for the second consecutive year. They know how to play this game, whereas, of course, we have their opponents, the Montreal Royale, in their first ever FurBowl, brand new, looking to perhaps make a little bit of history.
Yeah, especially history, because like I said, they come from so far, being an expansion team from rising for the ashes of the Albertine Lancers, and being there after such after a couple of years, it was quite a turnaround, but they're finally here, and I'm expecting quite a big game.
Yeah, I'm not so sure how. Obviously, we're looking at a lot of really big name players on both sides of the football. When we talk about running backs, it's impossible to even consider anybody better right now than Vito Lagustica, the honeybee, who's been absolutely instrumental in helping Montreal get this far. And you bring up a good point, because they could be today the first team ever, United States team to win this championship, thus making the league truly international. They accomplished so much this year just by getting to this game, and I'm really looking forward to see how they handle, of course, the Texas Ramblers and their dominant offense.
Yeah, they're especially dominant offense, because we know they got the weapons. That it wasn't as big of a domination that the last season, but somehow, some way, they managed to be there. So it's going to be real fun to see. So we're going to go live to Riverside Stadium as the teams is going to be introduced to the crowd.
Woo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FurBowl VI, live from Riverview Stadium in Portland, Oregon. Please now pay attention to each side of the field as we present each conference's representative for tonight's game. the field, your 2019 and 2020 UFFL United Conference champions, the Montreal Warriors.
Dans le chant des sirènes, downtown, l'enfant du décor underground.
Now presenting first, linebacker out of Nebraska Tech, number 46, Jenny Alba.
Comme une italienne, une Ferrari dans la nuit américaine. La Saint-Denis, les blues en fleurs de peau. L'amour de
And then, running back out of Rochester Technical College, number 45, Vito Ligustica. And now, his wide receiver out of Savannah River, number 89, Deontay Hughes.
la première fois que je dis je t'aime. Mont-Royal, c'est les pas Belvedere. Le corps est Saint-Louis, causing
And finally, quarterback out of Savannah River, number 8, Tyler Appleby. And now, please welcome your 2019-2020 UFFL Continental Conference champions, the Texas Wranglers. Presenting first, out of Seattle State, defensive tackle number 52, Logan Vertanen. And now, running back out of Carolina Furtec, number 49, Ricky Whitricky. And now, wide receiver out of London Academy of Finance, number 87, Jacqueline Knight. And finally, quarterback out of Homer State, number 5, Andrew Calder. And now, please remove your hats and stand up as for the singing of our national anthem. Please welcome one of the country's most famous recording artists, Taylor Swift Fox.
You see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And now for the singing of the Canadian National Anthem. Please welcome Jordan Swiss and the Rattlers. And now, please pay close attention to the center of the field, as both team captains of Montreal and Texas will be joining up as the special official referee of this night. FurBowl will present the coin and the official coin toss of FurBowl VI.
Congratulations and welcome to FurBowl VI, the championship game of the United Furry Football League. I have a commemorative coin. The UFFL logo is heads, the FurBowl logo is tails. Montreal, you are the visitors. What is your call? It's called tails. It is tails. Montreal has elected to receive in the first half. Good luck.
So it seems that Montreal won the toss. It's going to be, they're going to receive the ball on the first possession. So we're going to see Keontae Hughes waiting in for the kick. And everybody, it's off! Have a great FurBowl, everybody, as the kick is up. And it's going to be Keontae Hughes going for a short 21 yards gain.
Looking fresh out there, the young leopard, very much a key component to Montreal's success this year, returns it to the 23.
Yes.
And here comes the Montreal offense.
Yes, here comes the Montreal offense that is led by the big wolf, Tyron Appleby, that had quite a big comeback season after last year, where he's been impaired by injury. It's going to be a lot of pressure for the guy. We'll see how he's going to do on the next play.
He looks calm, collected, but I'm sure he's internally really nervous right now.
And we see Appleby went for his first pass to Ellison for 7 yards.
Ellison, one of the main vets of the team. Good first catch there. Good hustle.
So, yes, indeed. So we're going to see in the second play, it's going to be a curl. Ligostica takes a run. It's going to be short for a little 6-yard gain.
The main thing there is he got the first down. So already, only a couple minutes in, and Montreal's moving the ball. This is good.
Yes. Now, let's see how it's on 1st and 10. 37. And then we see a long pass from Appleby to Crack for 9 yards. Again, close for another first down.
Well, Kratt, tight end, is one of the few team members left from the Abilene Lancer days. So to come to here and play at this level has to be quite an amazing experience for him.
Yes, indeed. Let's see if they're going to have to punch it in next play. Ligostica try, but it seems short. Short on the play.
It's just... And I mean, if you're going to run into the polar bear Verton and Logan on the other team, any team really, you're going to struggle to get that first down. So, I mean, Ligostica's great, but I'm not super surprised.
Yes, indeed. Let's see for the next play. 3rd and 1. Oh, a short play. And, it seems that it was just enough, but it seemed that someone has been having trouble to get up. It's Aaron Whitman.
That's Whitman. The Bison. Which I wonder what's going on there. That's one of the veteran running backs very studious guy. Oh man, I hope he's not hurt too bad and can come back.
Yeah, we'll see how it is as the play is going to resume. Again, Montreal still moving. Legustica. Again, big run for the B. Another first down. This time, the Legustica goes for 10 yards.
Uncharacteristic of the linebackers of the Texas defense to let those big plays happen. But that's the beauty of Legustica's running plays. He can find those holes and make huge plays like that that keep the Montreal's offense on the field. Hopefully that's a good trend for the Royale, but the defense from Texas has to step up.
Yeah. So this is going to be on the next play. Back the ball, the pass go in, security. Oh, he go all the way, son!
Oh, he got two defenders shaken off. That was an amazing play by Keontae Hughes.
All the way for, and Montreal will strike first. 43
Oh my
yards
God.
from Keontae Hughes.
He's doing his little dance in the end zone. Oh man, what a great moment for the young Leopard. He's in for the first score of this FurBowl. Montreal 6, Texas 0.
And then, of course, just right after, Martinez in, and the kick's going to be good. So, quite the start that Montreal was hoping to have in this game, as it's just what they needed against a team against the Ramblers. They guys must go on offense and score often first.
Yes, that was one drive, one score. Every coach's dream.
Next play. And a kick from Martinez. Take it by Jackie Knights. Jackie seems to find some room. She go on the right side. Finally brought down, but good 35-yard return to start Texas' first offensive set. Alongside, and they are led by none other than the MVP from last season, Andrew Calder.
Andrew Calder. Look at that Martin strut onto the field like he's owning the place. Of course, that's kind of what Knight just did, walking off, but she's lined up alongside Calder with Ricky in the background. I would expect a rush on this first play.
I'm also going to see what's going on in the first play. And Ricky just a little rush for a short gain. Nothing much.
Tackled by Maynard Wuchen, who's been on the team now for a couple years. Nothing there. Really well guarded by the defensive line of the Royale.
Next play. And we see Calder try for a run, but he won't go nowhere as he actually lost some yards there.
My God, we talk about every once in a while these key players who come up with big moments during FurBowls, and right now Wu Chen, that he was in on the tackle again, got through the offensive line and just made sure that Calder's ball didn't fall out of his paws. It was very impressive, the duck out of, Gem State College.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see the 3rd and 12. The next play. And a big rush by Whitricky that's go in for 13 yards. First down of the game for the Ramblers.
Was exactly what they needed to draw up. They pulled off the left side completely and basically drew everybody off to the right, and that allowed Whitricky to get a huge gain there, just enough for that first down.
Let's see what this next play of the set. Oh, Calder tried for a punt, but it was broken up by the big fit from Montreal, J.D. Abraham.
We haven't talked about Jetty Abrams too much, but we all know that he was one of the main components of turning this team around after they moved from Abilene. And his play right there shows some of just his physical skills that he possesses. He's one of my favorite aquatic players in the entire league. That catfish will really screw with your head if you get in his way.
Yes, indeed. So now we'll see how the Red Blues is going to respond. And it's another rush. This time with Ricky, he starts to getting going, 5 yard. Tackled by Kidd.
Really good acceleration from Kidd to get on to Whitricky before he got away too hard. So that was a good run, but really the defense of any Texas Rambler defensive lineman, if you can get past it, it's a good accomplishment in my book.
All right, let's see next play. Then another run. It seems that Whitricky is taking his shot as it goes for 4 yards. Tackled by McNeil. And we'll see how things going to develop on the second play. The next play, I say, it's a 4th and 1.
Looks like they're going for it. Might as well. It's early in the game.
And it's complete. Whitricky for 5 yards. Tackled by Jetty.
That was a run, and for the most part, very well executed. Abrams got there in time to, again, prevent Whitricky from getting any more yards, but they converted. What more can you want?
Brand new downs. Next play. And then we got Calder that's trying to go for a run. Only 2 yards this time. Tackle for Uchel. Gotta be careful with Calder because he tends to really use his leg a lot as well as his arm.
And that's been one of the valuable components to Calder staying in Texas for as long as he has. Of course, we've heard rumors, but I'll get to those later. But the most part, from what I've listened to, is that, actually what I'm seeing is that they're covering Jackie Knight. They're double teaming her. Any kind of throw play might be getting converted to a Calder rush if they keep doing that.
And good thing Jack Knight wasn't there, because I think we're going to he would have followed with a big dirty joke here.
Yeah.
So
this could be an interesting halftime.
Let's see what's going to be next play for the Ramblers. It seems to be the run seems to be the team of the class, with Ricky go for 4.
Their strategy at the moment is to wear down this Royale defense, and for the time being, it's working perfectly. They're taking time off the clock, setting themselves up for a score, and making this Royale defense really work for what they need to do to try and win this game today.
All right, we're 7-2 in the first quarter. 3rd and 4.
Oh, that dodge.
And complete. Calder with a pass complete to Palturas for 6 yards. And another new set down.
Yeah, you may not have seen it on the replay there. Liam Pelantris basically juked off Michel Bedard, and he had to come back and try and salvage whatever he could off that play. It was too late, though. First down, Texas.
So, Ramblers in the red zone. The set of darts. And it's for a rush again, with Rookie with 6 yards on the play.
Getting his money's worth. Maybe he's going for that MVP reward. I don't know. But Whit Ricky is getting enough yards each play that they might as well keep running them.
So, let's see. Second play, second and 4 at Mardell 17. And it's another rush. It's time for Calder, 30 yards.
Again, I think that was meant to be a pass play. But both wide receivers, they didn't double team Knight this time. But he couldn't throw to Palantris. He couldn't throw to any of the other wide receivers. So he had to just kind of take the ball and run again. Gradkowski was one of the guys covered up really hard.
And it's the 3rd and 1. Calder tried to elevate. Intercepted! It's McDonough!
Intercepted!
McDonough's going.
Oh my God!
And it's finally stopped.
No!
Calder tried to
Oh my
get
God!
the first big tough turnover for the debut of the game. That's McDonough. Intercepted ball. It was for Rivers, I think, and he was able to go for 34 yards before stopping at Montreal 13.
Basically what happened there, I think, was Clyde Rivers had pulled out to the outside and left too much space for McDonough to just run in there and put his hands up. I didn't even see him come out of nowhere and pick that ball off. That is a huge play for the Royale, and now they have it in their own side of the field. 1st and 10. They could go up another touchdown right here if they play their cards right.
So we'll see.
Huge play.
We'll see what they do with the 1st and 10 at the 47. And Ligustica run for a short gain, 4 yards.
Yeah, maybe they're copying a few pages out of the Ramblers playbook here. We might see Ligustica a lot in this game. Seems to me like both quarterbacks are handing off to their running backs while they're still fresh in this first quarter.
Yes, indeed. And we'll see them again, 2nd and 6. And Ligustica again, this time no gain, a short gain for maybe a yard.
Hesperia, Osvaldo Hesperia, the Iguana, is in his 11th year, and I have to imagine if they win this FurBowl today, he might not be coming back. But for the time being, he's enjoying his time out there. That's his 2nd tackle in a row.
Yeah, we'll see how it develops. 3rd and 6 on Texas 49. And Appleby tried to go, but he's sacked by Alexander McIntosh. 7-yard loss, and they're going to most likely kick it.
That is McIntosh's first sack, I believe, of the playoff season, and the horse is not letting anybody put him down. That is a huge 3rd and 1 play.
Yes, indeed.
And now the Royal have to punt.
And then, as you can see, punt by Martinez. And it's get again by Knight. This time not so much as big of a return for 17 yards.
And the Ramblers will try again to get something on the board here. They managed to stop Montreal from scoring. And for the most part, I believe that we could see a huge play coming up. I just have that feeling.
So let's see. 1st and 10, Texas 31. And Calder is trying for Thomas Melano, but it falls incomplete.
Lano didn't turn around in time, and that pass was broken up easily.
So 2nd and 10. And again, Calder tries to pass to Ricky, but again, an incompletion. Broken up by McDonough. Oh boy.
Pete Calder got shaken up there more than we expected on that last interception. That's 2 incomplete passes in a row. Not very characteristic of the young Martin.
No, indeed. It was Let's see what it's here with the 3rd and 10. And it seems to go nowhere. With Ricky is stopped for 2 yards, and Texas is going to have to punt.
It was just an unfortunate series of events there. Nothing really got going, so 3 and out.
3 and out. And as we actually did, Westmore goes for the kick. And it's going to be a touchback as there's 2 minutes 4 seconds left in the first quarter as Montreal is going to take it again for their next set of plays.
And this first quarter has been breezing by.
Indeed. So let's see what Montreal is going to do with their 1st and 10. The B again with a run, but this time 5 yards.
That wasn't too bad of an effort. He's just punching it in. They've dialed in where they need to go against this Texas defense, and they're getting good chunks of yards on each rush from Logustica.
And we'll see if he's going to continue. 2nd and 5. And again, Logustica for 5 yards. It's you gotta wonder, probably short, not enough for a 1st down, so it's going to be a thing of inches for the next play.
Yeah, I'm like a bit unsure of whether that ball placement was correct, but we'll see what happens.
What's happening?
If they can convert.
And Appleby goes back, tries for a lesson, but intercepted! Overturned!
Intercepted again!
But this time he got every room in the world, and it's touchdown, a pick 6.
Oh my gosh. What a play. Okay, so what basically happened there, and I am not sure what's, Appleby's head is where he's at right now at this exact moment, but he threw that ball basically directly to the defense. And Ellison was like, okay, sure, fine, and took it in.
It's probably...
Sorry, it was Dave Overton. Ellison was the intended wide receiver. But for the most part, God, that was a very strange pass from Appleby.
And probably a shot in the arm that the Ramblers needed to get back in the game, as we are tied 7-all as Pike Kurt Pike kick is good. So there's
a game. We're in it.
And the kick, Kirkland Chill take it for a short 10 yards at 40 seconds left. 45 seconds left going to see if they're going to do a little something to start the set after quite a shocker.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit surprised that happened.
Oh, and Appleby, whoa! And Appleby is actually sacked!
Run away. Just too much weight.
Yeah. 7.
Area was in there.
Loss of 7 yards.
2nd and 17.
And probably it's turned to Appleby to be a little shaken up. We'll see what's going to happen on the 2nd and 17th. And it's Logustica for 5 yards.
Dave Overton was on that play. He's the one who just returned that interception for a touchdown. And I looked at the stat books, Marty. That was Dave Overton's first touchdown ever, and it's in FurBowl VI.
He certainly could be something important as the future, as we see now. Montreal's going 3rd and 12, and it won't be enough as Legosico will rush only for 4 yards. Montreal's going to have to punt as the first quarter officially ends.
Yeah, I mean, an interesting first quarter. Both interceptions really have shaken up this game, but we're tied, so it's still anybody's championship to win. What I'm surprised by at this moment is the 6 total passing yards from the Texas Ramblers side. They need to be able to pass that ball better if they expect to come out on top. They're doing well on the ground, but so is Montreal. And Montreal's Appleby definitely needs to shake off whatever just happened in that last couple of minutes there and come back fresh and ready to go in the second quarter.
Indeed. And as the second quarter is going to start, it's punted by Martinez in return. Actually, Jackie lost a couple of yards. 3 yards.
She tried to dodge a couple of defenders, then did a little bit of a jig before just, I don't know what else to call it. Got tackled down there. Really nothing much on the ground anyway. You know, it's just a kickoff. What can I say? Or a punt, sorry.
And actually, there's and now that you talk about it, there's actually a flag on the field. And it seems to be tripping and Montreal is the one that's penalized.
Maynard Wu-Chen shouldn't be tripping other players. I mean, come on. The whole point of football is that you have to be able to stand. What is this? No tripping other players.
Well, it will simply help. Will certainly help, as we see on the next play. And it's with Ricky.
Lon McNeil on the play there, getting into the tackle. I think that's his first tackle of the game.
Yes, indeed. 8 yards. And we go 2nd and 2. And it's with Ricky with another 2nd yards. So
first down.
Yes.
They've been instrumental to handing off to this squirrel for this game. But I don't think what Ricky managed to match. The yards now on the ground.
Next game. Calder is trying, but he's actually sacked on the play by McNeil for 10 yards.
Yeah, that was intense. Basically, what happened there on that play was Calder was looking to Knight, dodged a couple of tackles, but before Knight even had an opportunity to be open enough to throw the ball, Lon McNeil was there on the blitz, and the rest is history. That's a loss of 10.
And we see on this play, on the next play after that, it's a rush back with Ricky with 3 yards, so the Ramblers going to have no choice but punt.
Yep. I don't have much to say there except that, again, the coach's approach to this game so far has been to hand off that ball. And I think they're going to need to think a little bit outside the box on their next possession if they're going to expect big results going forward. They're definitely getting enough yards out of Whit-Ricky, but not quite enough if you're 3rd and 18.
And as we see on the next play, And it was a kick by Westmore, but this time there was no return on the play, as Montreal's going to start on there. Going to start with the ball again.
People don't talk too much about Westmore. He's been a very serviceable punter for the Texas Ramblers. The Kangaroo has definitely one of the best feet for punting in this league, and he proved it there. No return at all. There was no opportunity to return because that ball went so high.
Next play. 1st and 10. Appleby goes back. To Hughes, it's complete. Hughes is going. And tackle by Overton, but fumble. The ball is
no!
The ball fumble and Overton recover. Texas ball.
Oh, that was the first play off a scrimmage, and it's probably Keontae Hughes' biggest pass in several games. And again, this Dave Overton in on the play to recover the ball, and no return this time. But that is a huge play for Texas. They needed something like that to take over this game.
And we'll see what the Ramblers are going to do on the next play.
Oh man, I'm still recovering.
Man.
But yeah, Ramblers are on the field now. Calder looking very energized.
Yeah, and Calder throw a pass to Campbell, and it was good for 13 yards. Tackle by Fox.
Fox there on the tackle. But yeah, I'm still trying to understand what Keontae Hughes was trying to do with that ball on the fumble, because it was right after he had switched to the other paw, and maybe it was a keep away game, but I was not even looking at what Dave Overton was doing, and the young Fox came in, snapped it out of his hands, and recovered it. What a sneaky little butt.
Yeah, and on the second play, it seemed on the play there's an actual penalty to Kenny, and illegal shift. So it's going to be 1st and 15.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Cletus Kenny. You should know by now that if you're going to press the shift key on your keyboard, you got to do it legally. No illegal shift key presses. What a dummy.
Well, we're going to see what's he going to do on the 1st and 15 and on the next play.
Actually, a really good pass there.
And it's Calder to get a pass tonight for 14 yards, tackle by Hunt.
Yeah, Hunt has been doing so well this game so far in covering Jackie Knight that it was actually a little bit of a blip there, and Calder took advantage of it. That's a nice 14-yard gain by the Dragon.
So let's see what's going to happen on the next play. And Calder goes back. I see guy going to die, but intercepted! Dyson Hunt!
Intercepted! Not again!
And he's going
Hunt!
all the way!
Oh my god, I think he's going to go all the way.
For 73 yards, pick 6.
Oh my god. Okay, so basically Knight cut in under the inside, and Calder threw it again, expecting a similar play to the last one, but instead Hunt just leaned over to the left and basically got underneath Knight there, low enough to catch the ball, and then just got up and took off, and nobody was going after him. Humongous turnaround here. I am shocked.
And then after a kick by Martinez, it's 14-7 for Montreal.
Huge play there for the Royal, and Hunt looks better than ever. I am so impressed by that Erman's skills and abilities that every time I see him on the field, I just know something could happen like that. And there you just saw it in FurBowl VI.
Now we'll see the kickoff. And a kick by Martinez in the end zone tonight. Knight's going out of the end zone. And well, on the left side, it's a good gain. 40-yard return on this play.
As she cut across the field there, probably trying to get as much as she could off that run. And she's really good at the kickoff returns. That's why she's still doing it after all this time. She's focused on getting this game turned around after that last set of downs. I can tell. She is not in it to joke starting now.
Yeah. I will see how it's going to do with the new set of downs. 1st and 10 on Texas 40. And rushed by Whitricky for 12 yards. And a first down.
Good rush there. Whitricky is getting basically the coverage that he needs to get through the line there. And Lon McNeil, we haven't heard much of him from this game so far, but he was there to wrap him up. And for the most part, I can credit Whitricky's skills on getting the game going, but Calder still remains pretty quiet. I want to know if he's going to be passing more on this drive. They certainly need to get back in the game here.
And we'll see on the new set of downs. And a rush by Carter, by short gain, tackle by Hearns. And we'll see as the teams reset. 2nd and 10. Again, another rush, this time with Ricky, but only for a short gain. Nothing's going on for there. It's going to be 3rd and 10.
I think the beak of Medard got in the way there from Whitricky from cutting in, and actually might have been advantageous for the Royale. No gain there, 3rd and 10, as he said.
And as the play happened, Whitricky rushed for only 4 yards, tackled by Abraham. So the Texas Rangers going to have to punt.
I mean, you can't just run up the middle. Abrams was going to be there every time to just stuff you. Doesn't matter if you're the fastest squirrel in the world or not. You're going to get stuffed.
I will see as the kick team happen. Westmore, 43 yards, and there won't be any return. We got to a touchback. As now Montreal's go back on the field.
All right, if you're Appleby in this situation, what I have to say is stick to the gameplay. You've got a 7-point lead. You don't need to improvise or show off. Just do what you do best.
1st and 10 out of the 20. Pass it to Appleby, pass to Clapp, but it's dropped. Incomplete.
I mean, 9 out of 10 times, Pratt will catch that pass. He's a skilled tight end. That was one of the 10th times. Incomplete pass, 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. Appleby again. Go back. Try to pass to Clapp, and it's done. For a big gain, 21 yards, first down.
Now, like I said in the last play there, Pratt will catch that ball 9 out of 10 times, and luckily that was one of the 9 times. So, good catch. Getting his arms up over the receiver, came down with it, didn't bobble it even once. And we're at the 41-yard line now of the Royale.
And go for the 1st and 10. And the Big B goes for another 10-yard. First down, thanks to Legostica.
I mean, there was not much else to say other than that he got the good moves on the left side, managed to shift to the right side. Alvano Serrano has been a key skink, and one of the veteran players of the Texas Ramblers was there to cover him up. But you don't want him getting past your linebackers. That's what Legustica did on that play. Hopefully the Ramblers will clean that up. But it's now on the Rambler side of the field. They got to watch out here.
1st and 10. And pass Appleby to use for 2 yards only. And they're going to set up again for a 2nd and 8. And this time, Appleby get the ball, but he's sacked by Brad Fitzpatrick.
Sacked.
Again.
Fitzpatrick, another amazing player from the Ramblers veteran crew, The Buffalo has so much to contribute to this game. And you don't hear his name all the time, but on that play, the end was there. And it takes a lot of effort to bring down Appleby, but he managed to do it.
And we'll see what's going to happen. Now it's 3rd and 15. And once again, Appleby complete for Ellison, and he's going, and it's long enough. 16 yards, another first down.
Number 83, that's Ellison. He's got the skills as well. You know, I can't say enough about the Texas Ramblers defense, because the Royale offense, at least on the wide receiver end of things, it really comes down to either Keontae Hughes or Ellison this season. Ellison, being the oldest player on that crew, caught that one and made sure that the rest of the team knew how it was done. 1st and 10.
Ligustica go for a rush. 5 yards. Tackled by Max Prowler.
Max Prowler is one of the
Mox acting.
He's one of the 2 border collies that I get screwed up. So I'm actually glad that you were able to catch that it was Prowler and not what's his name? Armstead.
And we'll see. 2nd and 5. Texas 33. And Appleby goes for a pass, and this time another big play. Keontae Hughes, 18 yards. It's a first down, and
he got the edge on Serrano on that one.
And Montreal is in the red zone.
All right, I am anxious to see some offensive play here. If we're going to get another defensive stop from Texas.
First and 10 on Texas 15. Ligustica for a rush, not much, 1 yard. 2nd and 9. Ligustica again, but this time goes a full 10 yards. And it's a 1st and goal for the Royale as they call for a timeout.
This first timeout now that we're under 2 minutes. Serrano there had to come in to stop Ligustica from getting all the way to the end zone. My fear is that they're going to wear out their backfield. If the linebackers don't step up here and get more on the outside, it's going to be questionable whether or not they'll be able to keep everything contained here. But we've seen it time and time again. We get too worried about these things early on.
We'll see how everything goes. We'll get 1st and goal at the Texas 4.
Oops.
And Ligustica again, but this time it's just for 1 yard.
Yeah, he couldn't really get much on that. And to be honest, I don't think Hesperia even intended to tackle him. Just kind of fell on the side there, and Ligustica had to dive.
On the second play, Appleby just spiked the ball to stop the clock.
Really confused by that, actually. That's a key component of, it's a key play, and something was weird about that, because now Appleby is running to the sidelines to talk to Coach Machocha about something. There must have been a general miscommunication there, and he had to spike the ball.
But as we've seen, it's still going to be 3rd and goal as they're practically in the doorstep. So we have to see if Ramblers going to hold on, or it's Texas or Montreal's going to score again. It's just
Texas will hold them down.
And rush. PR service, punch it in! Touchdown, Montreal!
Oh! First offensive touchdown, and it's the Royals' Cerveza of all running backs. That's probably because Aaron Whitman went out on the injury, so they'd bring in Cerveza as the backup. But, oh my gosh, she had basically 3 different running lanes she could have chosen. She chose the middle one, which would have put Abrams right in front of her. But Abrams simply just didn't get there in time, and the Deer reached out and got the ball over the line. and she looks ecstatic. This must have been the biggest moment she could have dreamed of, being able to score in the FurBowl. 20-7. Well, you don't know the kick, but Martinez is coming out.
Yeah, and the kick is good. So yes, 21-7 Montreal, as the Ramblers is going for is preparing for the kickoff.
Oh man.
And
do you see Knight's face right now?
Yeah, I mean, she did ran it for 20 yards, but they're certainly not happy there. So it's been interesting to see if they're going to be able to salvage something, as there's 1 minute left, almost a minute left in the next before halftime.
That's the classic 2-minute drill. I've seen Texas do this before. It's different circumstances now. They're not used from playing from behind. Calder's got to get his head in the game.
And he do it, as Calder has managed to catch Knight for 22 yards. It's a first down.
They took advantage of one of the safeties coming in from the inside, looking to cover a wide receiver that wasn't there.
Yeah.
Quick pass to the left, 22 yards, good catch.
And then 1st and 10. Actually, it's Calder's turn to spike the ball.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're looking to get the clock, as much time on the clock as necessary to get a score in here.
Yes, and we'll see what they're going to do in that second and 10. And Calder is actually sacked by Sandra Wheeler.
So basically, the bear, Sandra, she just fell on top of Calder, and Calder took it. I don't think he had anything open on that play. That's actually really bad, but sensationally a funny play from the linebacker there.
And then is going to be anything happening on a 3rd and 17. Not much, as Whitricky went for 1 yard, and they're going to have to punt with 9 seconds left.
It's a sacrificial rush there from the Texas Ramblers. I don't know what they were drawing up, but you don't run on 3rd and 17 when you're behind by 2 touchdowns.
Just as we see it, they actually go for a punt, and Ellison, well, that's it. The first half is over, and Montreal has a really commanding lead, 21-7 over the defending champs, Texas Ramblers.
I'm just as shocked as you are, Marty. I'm not even expecting something like this to happen, where you have basically a defensive scoring game. 2 touchdowns returned for picks. We had a 3rd pick happen earlier in the game, and both quarterbacks are struggling out there, but at least we're getting some play out of the Appleby side of things from the Royal, and basically that's what's been the difference here. I'm not seeing much in the way of inspiring gameplay from the backfield of the Ramblers, which has me a little bit confused and bewildered. But I've seen it time and time again where you can have 2, especially with these defensive plays that have happened so far, all you need is another pick 6 and you're back in the game. So I'm expecting to see some huge plays in the second half that might change a little bit of our perception of this game. Now, so far, first off, I'm being handed what we call the halftime report from our sideline field reporters. And they managed to catch an interview as Appleby was running into the room, the locker room for halftime. They asked him a couple questions. First off, that 2nd and goal spike that took a play away when they needed it to score, and what that was about. Appleby admitted, yes, it was indeed a miscommunication between the coach and what he saw on the field. So he had really no option but to spike it to at least salvage what was going to be possibly an interception or a loss of yards that were crucial towards them getting that 3-yard touchdown from Cerveza. The second question they asked was, well, how he felt overall about their play thus far. And he said, although there's a few things they need to clean up, he's been generally happy, especially with the way that Hughes and Ellison have been able to get open for him on some key passing plays. We also got an interview from the Rambler side from Coach Knight, and we asked him a couple questions first off about how he felt their play was so far, and he gave a rather rough answer of he's basically really unhappy with everything. Basically that, if you're playing as a Rambler right now, you're probably getting your ass chewed out. And yes, I'm sorry for saying that on national TV.
Knight being the GM, but the way you're telling about it, the way Jack Knight is everywhere with the organization of the team, he certainly must not have been happy about the things happening for the team, and he's going probably to be in the locker room along with the coach and trying to see things out, because gotta be honest, it seems that Montreal's been able to control Texas offense pretty well. I mean, they were really opportunistic. It took their chance when they got the occasion, and even if Appleby adds a couple of jitters and the interceptions, he has been playing a pretty efficient game. He's been doing what he's needing to do, and we'll have to wait to see what's going to happen at the second half. But before that, we're going to have to take a short break, and we'll let everyone enjoy the festivities of the FurBowl VI halftime show.
The following champion versus champion match is scheduled for one fall and will be contested under softcore rules for the WCWC Pacific Northwest Championship. Introduce
Since the
Introducing first, the challenger. From the edge of reality, weighing in at 185 pounds, the Heartbreak Kitsune Kovaluko. And the champion, weighing in at 255 pounds, from the edge of darkness, he is the WCWC Pacific Northwest Champion, Dreamy.
Well, now, it was quite a halftime performance this year, I must say. Now, as we see the teams getting back on the field to prepare for the second half kickoff, which Montreal's is going to kick for Texas, what's you think is going to need to be done on both sides from both teams?
Well, first off, good show so far. Very exhilarating, and especially the turnover ratio in particular. You know, Montreal took advantage of that and is now up 21-7. And I think what we learned right before we walked into the locker room is that Texas was extremely unhappy with the performance that they've put forth so far. So with getting the ball to start the first half, they have the advantage to turn this around. I suspect they I would hope that they've changed their game plan to accommodate for the differences in what we've seen thus far. Now, neither team has performed perfection. I wouldn't say Montreal is got much of a handle on their offensive play yet, though we can definitely point to their defense to say they're the ones who have made the difference thus far today.
Yeah. So, without further ado, we see that the team is already, and now the kick. And the kick is up, and have a good second half, everybody. Woo! So we see right here, it's Knight that took the kick and ran across the field, and got stopped short for a 40-yard return.
I wouldn't say that it stopped short. That was actually a very brilliant return by Jackie Knight, dodging a couple of the defenders there, and they will have excellent field position to start this third quarter.
So let's see if Calder can turn it around. 1st and 10 on Texas 43. And it was a pass. Calder moved back to Milano, but it was dropped incomplete.
Complete pass by Milano. She has struggled a little bit in this game so far to bring in those passes. Not very good for the young Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, 2nd and 10. And it's Ricky that go for the rush, but not doesn't take much. 2 yards. Now we see the team set off, and he's gonna go with a 3rd and 8. And Calder tried to go for the rush, but he was stopped by Wu Chen. So for a start, it didn't go so well. The Texas going to have to punt.
Oh, not at all. And credit to Maynard Wu Chen for the big tackle there in the backfield. Calder had nowhere to run. He couldn't get the ball off in time, and he's just lucky that it wasn't for a loss of more yards.
So we'll see the kicking team going on for this kick. And Westmore go for 44-yard kick. And Ellison didn't go far, 2 yards. But wait a second. See, on the next play, there was a penalty before the snap. Clemens from Texas got a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. So it's still going to be.
Can't believe that he would try to not be sportsmanlike and then conduct himself in such a way that is unsportsmanlike. How dare he?
So we'll see on the next play. And it was a rush by Ligustica for 4 yards, tackled by Fitzpatrick.
Rushes from Gustica, those are the kind of pickups you need just to keep the pace going, keep the clock winding down.
And then we go on 2nd and 6. And it seemed to be rush enough. He's got 8 yards for his play, but hold on a second, I see another flag.
Yep.
team a penalty for illegal use of hands from Klatt.
Carl Kratt put his hands up to block the way Lagustica running up. Actually, Lagustica ran past the fullback on that play, which was a strange lead up, but I just don't think the play in all was, despite getting 8 yards, it wasn't drawn up perfectly, and now they are going backwards again.
So now it's going to be 1st and 20 at Montreal 31. Cerveza going for a rush, but only a short gain. Tackled by Triper. And then we go 2nd and 20. And Lagustica again goes for a rush, but not for much. 6 yard tackle by De Leon. Going to be returned and 14.
Interesting watching a pheasant tackle a bee in the middle of the field.
And 3rd and 14, it's going to be not enough as Cerveza did quite a run. It would have been a first down if not for the penalty. So Martinez and Wild going to have to punt.
Now give credit to the Deer. She came in, a relief play, and managed to actually get a good gain on the ground. Again, I think Montreal's strategy thus far, at least on this drive, was just to get time off the clock. And you could argue that they accomplished that, but now they have to punt it back to Texas, and they have an opportunity to make this a 7-point game.
And as the kick, and it won't going to be any return, as it's going to be out of bounds for a touchback. So let's see now what Texas is going to do, and they need to do something quick.
The time left on the clock is still 25 minutes, which is plenty of time to get 2 touchdowns. But the way they've played so far, they'd have to change something up.
Yeah, so 1st and 10 on Texas 20. Calder tried for a run, but tackled by the Duck again. Wu Chen, loss of 2 yards.
Huge credit there to the defensive ends on the Montreal team. Calder went back to pass, found nothing, and was forced again to try and run and catch something up. But Wu Chen has been there all day watching the quarterback, making sure he doesn't get any positive yardage.
So let's see what again. 2nd and 12. And we see Calder moving back. A pass to Jacqueline Knight, caught, and she gonna be
nice.
She going for a long gain, tackled by Fox, but for 36 yards.
That's the kind of play that we expect to see out of the Dragon. When Calder and Knight hook up with each other on the field like that, you can expect an explosive play like that. That was the big gain that they've needed.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 in Montreal zone at the 46. And with Ricky, go for a short rush, 2 yards. And then we go for 2nd and 8. Another rush for Ricky, but this time nothing, so he lost a yard. Tackled by McDonough.
Squirrel couldn't manage to get anything so far in these 2 plays, so I hope they go back to the air to try and catch it, as they're very quickly in 3rd down territory now.
Now 3rd and 9. And again, Calder goes back for the air. The pass, Jacqueline not caught. And for 21 yards as Fox finally puts her down.
Again, I mean, you might as well just keep throwing tonight. She's catching the balls, and she's rescuing the team from getting 3 and out. So as long as Claudio Fox doesn't tighten his coverage, which I guess at this point he's struggling to do a little bit here to keep the Dragon contained, they could be on their way to a quick score here. Watch out, Montreal.
So 2nd and 10 in Montreal 24. I mean 1st and 10. And it rushed for Karan, who haven't rushed a lot, but for 1 yard, tackled by JT Abraham. So it's going to be 2nd and 9.
All right. At the rush.
Karan again for a run, but still stopped by Ernst, 2 yards. So we're going to a
Curran
third
is
and-
struggling to find the holes in this defensive line. Sorry to interrupt, but the matter is that these small rushes aren't doing much justice for the Ramblers. Again, here on third down, I hope they go to the air.
So this was it, 3rd and 7. And it was another rush, this time for River, but nothing short, nothing good, 1 yard. So seems that probably the Ramblers going to go with their kicking team.
Ed Rivers being a retriever. I guess he's pretty good at retrieving, maybe not so much at receiving. So they handed it off to him, and again, our Maynard Wuchen was there to stop that play in its tracks, 4th down.
So we'll see Curtis Spike for a 37-yarder.
MVP.
And the kick is good. 37,
It's good.
37 yards. So now the Ramblers are slowly creeping up back in the game. 21-10 Montreal at 6:38 of the 3rd quarter.
I would argue any score is a good score at any point in the game. I would have liked to see them get in the end zone. This is definitely cutting down some of the pressure, but they've got to get that ball back as soon as possible and get another score here in the 3rd.
So we'll see the kickoff going.
It's kickoff.
And it's returned by Kirkland Shields for 18 yards as Montreal going to start at their 26.
Kirkland Shields is not getting a lot of talking this year, but he fills in the roles nicely when he's needed. The Hawk has an eye, a keen sense of where to go, and that's why they have him do these kickoff returns. Got past the 20, and we'll be starting at the 26.
So 1st and 10 for Montreal. And Ligostica goes for a rush, 7 yards, tackled by McIntosh.
Run, and Alexander McIntosh had to back up and try and stop Ligostica from getting anything more on that. Prevented the 1st down gain, but yeah, I'm not feeling very optimistic about this Texas defensive line. They're supposed to be one of the best in the league, and today even the Clydesdale had to readjust his position, his footing. Might have been a slippery field or something. I don't know. Either way, or Ligostica is just playing the game of his life, which could definitely be a possibility.
So we go with the 2nd and 3. And Severso gets the ball. They got a good run, 15 yards. It's a 1st down.
Excellent run.
As Montreal go at it ahead.
1st down. Leon got through. I mean, as a matter of fact, Appleby, I'm sure, would love to be more involved in this passing game, but the rushing game has been doing so well, they might as well just keep handing off the ball, and they're running the time off the clock effectively. So all the credit here to the Royale, who have over 120 yards rushing so far.
So now 1st and 10. And we see Appleby finally gets a pass. He complete to Klatt for a short 7 yard tackle by Clement, but hold on once again.
Oh no.
It seems there's a flag on the field, and it's on Appleby for an illegal motion.
Oh no, illegal motion. Yeah, okay, so first of all, good pass and good completion to Kratt. He'll always catch those short passes like that, and it was a good gain on the ground. But, I mean, Appleby, come on, when you're making motions, they have to be legal. You have to stay within the law of legal motions, and you just did something that was illegal. So how dare you move in an illegal fashion?
So so much thoughtful and in-depth analysis as usual.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 2nd and 8 again on we're at midfield.
And Cerveza in the backfield in place of Ligostica on this play.
And Cerveza indeed go for a rush, and it was for 5 yards. And it's going to be 3rd and 3.
Short rush.
And Sarasa again, but this time she got everything. 3 yard tackle by Triper, but it's going to be first down for Montreal.
They're sticking with the rush game to get that clock wound down as soon as possible. I understand completely.
So we're at 3:34 the third quarter, as it's going to be 1st and 10 just at the border of Texas zone. And it's going to be Legustica again for a short rush. 4 yards, tackled by Prowler. Now, second and... Oh, go right ahead.
I was just going to add that they got Max Prowler caught offside, but he was able to readjust there and tackle Legustica and keep that ball within the 35-yard line. Legustica had at least another 10 yards to go if he had not been there.
So 2nd and 6. And Appleby moved back, tried to go for you, but he dropped the ball. It's going to be incomplete.
Rookie nerves. You know, Keontae Hughes is one of the youngest on the Royale and in the league in general, and I can imagine this is a pretty big game for him.
So it's going to be 3rd and 6. And Montreal go to service again, but she moved across the field. Oh, good run. 14 yards. First down again for Montreal.
Leon working overtime to keep that ball, to keep the player, Cerveza, who is coming in and filling in for Legustica and doing extremely well in this game so far, from getting any more yards on that. They're down to looks like the 25-yard line, and she's really pumped up for this game. I am fairly surprised. We don't give Montreal's backup running backs any credit. We're always focused on Legustica, but Cerveza here is proving that maybe she learned a thing or two during the season, and is proving that she's worthy of attention just as well.
Yeah, so now
good first down.
We go 1st and 10 near the red zone from Texas. And Cerveza again for a run, but this time short, 4 yards, tackled by Esperia.
Solid tackle there by Hesperia.
So
much else to say about that play.
Yeah, so 2nd and 10. And we see Appleby moving back. Show the pass to Anderson. And it's caught for a touchdown. Touchdown Royale.
Touchdown! Oh, Raphael Ellison caught that ball at about the 5, and he was completely uncovered. Fantastic.
Yeah, and again, Montreal, opportunistic, gets some points at the end of the quarter. That's actually back-breaking for the morale of the Ramblers. That's going to be as Martinez kick, and it's good. Now it's 28-10 for Montreal.
And you can tell that the morale of the Ramblers took a hit on that. People with their hands on their hips, tails aren't wagging at all. It's just kind of like, okay, what do we do now? We're down by 18 as the extra point makes it through from Martinez. So I don't know what the answer is, but other than scoring, and they're running out of time here. We have only a little bit over 15 minutes left in this game.
So
they gotta get a touchdown.
So now we see Montreal going for the kickoff. With 33 seconds left, there's won't going to be much. And we see Martinez kicking. Milano get the ball. And yes, she get a good run this time, 38 yards. So let's see what's the Ramblers going to do as the third quarter ends is near.
The way I was sent a card a couple minutes ago from the Ramblers. It says you called the name of Artemis Milano incorrectly previously.
Oh,
So I apologize to Miss Milano. Name is Artemis, not Alyssa.
well, it's thing that happens. So now we see first and 10 for Texas.
Half a minute left here.
And it's going to be a run by Curran for 7-yard tackle by Bullison. So
Not typically, what type of running play that they do run. And maybe that is the strategy here. They've tried to just pound it up the middle several times, but they did a power rush to the right, and Curran got a chunk of yards on that to set themselves up at the 45.
So then we'll see 2nd and 3, probably the last play of the third quarter. And indeed, it is called Palantura, called the gadget pass, and 15 yards. Palantura's tackle by Fox is going to be 1st and 10 once the next quarter is going to start as slowly but as the third quarter ends. One quarter left. Yes?
The expectation is that, Palantris getting the catch there. I love that play. The tight ends have been covered so well so far by the Montreal's defense. And kind of the expectation here was that I would see more of Palantris in this game, but he's got a good catch there. They're now in Montreal's side of the field after 2 short plays, and they have a good opportunity to get back on the board as we start the 4th.
Yes, indeed. So at the end of the third quarter, it's now or never for Texas as Montreal leads FurBowl VI 28-10. So we're at the start of the fourth quarter, and the Ramblers going to start 1st and 10 on Montreal 39.
Montreal defensive effort here. Despite what the Ramblers need to do, they need to mix it up with their offense.
So Curran goes for a run, and it's going to be 4 yards, tackled by Kidd as the last quarter of the FurBowl has begun.
And man, what a quarter, what a game it's been so far, dude.
Indeed. So now it's going to be 2nd and 6. And Calder moves back, and he passes for Kradowski. That gets a run. It's connected, 14 yards. But he fumbles the ball. But
shit!
He seems to have recovered it just in the nick of time.
Adkowski, the reptile, possibly out of nerves, bobbled that ball, caught it, got tackled by Fox, lost the ball, and it bounced back towards the reptile just in time before the Montreal Royale could bounce on it.
So it's going to
lucky.
Lucky break from Texas. God knows they need them. So it's going to be 1st and 10 on Montreal 21. And Calder moves again, pass try for Milano, but falls incomplete.
Yeah. I don't think passing to Milano is a good strategy here. Yeah. She's not been able to get the ball.
So 2nd and 10. And it's going to be Curran that go for a run, but he got nothing. Stopped at the line of scrimmage by McDonough. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Ramblers.
Basset Hounds sniff at play head.
And Calder moves back, tries to go for Campbell, but it falls incomplete. So it seems that perhaps Texas is going to go once again with the foot of Curtis Pike to get their points.
Not sure about that call. It's a little too late to be going for field goals. I understand getting points on the board is more important than anything. maybe they can get 2 touchdowns here and convert on a 2-pointer. That's, I guess, what they're going with.
So we see the setup. It's going to be a 38-yarder. The kick is up, and it's good. The Frogs once again comes through as it's now 28-13 for Montreal.
And to Curtis Pike's credit, he knows how to kick a ball perfectly through the uprights.
Yeah, we can remember how instrumental he was as last year FurBowl with those godly kicks of his. Nearly
It was the consistency. It was so special that game. That's why he ended up being the MVP, despite what you could see as a Ramblers offense was a perfect unit that year.
So now
today, on the contrary, today they have really been struggling here, and I just hope they can get a quick touchdown to make this game within a single score.
So next kickoff, and the kickoff got a catch by Hughes. He goes try to evade, but is brought down for a 17-yard gain. So it's going to be 1st and 10, Montreal at their 22.
Montreal's strategy here is very similar. Quarter, take time off the clock.
So 1st and 10. The B tries for a run, but nothing short. Just a short gain tackled by Trapper. So it's going to be second.
Remain Trapper. Go ahead.
So he's going to be 2nd and 10.
It's interesting. Look who's on the quarterback for this play.
Indeed, it was Fernandez that went in for the snap, and he gets the good stick off for a short 6-yard gain, tackled by DeLeon.
It's a brave move by the Royal head coach. Take Appleby out, maybe to put a bit of emotional pressure on the Ramblers defense. I don't understand why you would put backup quarterback in the FurBowl, but here we are. Again, if they're just in the mood to mess with the other team.
Well, I don't know for sure, but you can't sell Fernandez short. I know that last year he almost was able to bring Montreal back into playoff contention, but I guess it's a special strategy. Yes, it's going to be the 3rd and 4 at the Montreal 28. But this time Cerveza got the ball, but it will go nowhere. Tackled by Trapper. Montreal is going to have to punt.
Jamarcus Trapper has been relatively silent in this game, but he's stepping it up on this drive to quick put the Royale back off the field. That's a 3-and-out for the Royal, who again are probably just trying to run time off the clock.
Indeed.
But the last thing you want to do, even in this situation, is give the ball back to the Ramblers.
So
here we are.
Yep. So the kicking unit is there for the kick, and it's a 61-yarder as the receiver makes a signal, so he's going to be no return. So again, Texas going to start at their own 11 and try to make something.
I mean, that's an understatement if I've heard of. To make something, you need a score. Though you don't need to hear that from me. I'm sure basically what is going through the mind of Coach Knight and the rest of the Ramblers offense is, who can we send down the field and who can we outrun to get a quick score on this board?
Well, I'm not sure about Coach Knight because it's the author, but certainly that Jack has been watching closely, trying to make his hand and trying to help his team and his coaching staff. We know how hands-on Jack with his team, but we'll see what's going to happen. 1st and 10 on Texas 11.
And to be fair, the coach, in the sense, is definitely the honor, but the matter is we kind of know who's pulling the strings in the background too sometimes.
So Calder tries for a rush, but no dice, no yards, tackled by Earn. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
I don't think he wanted to run on that play, but was kind of faced again with really tight coverage from the Montreal defense and was forced to try and get yards on his own again. Calder putting himself in a lot of risky situations this game.
And we see Calder moving back again, try for Marano, but falls incomplete again.
And that one, it was a desperation. And, if you're going to be desperate, I suppose there's a lot worse people you could throw to. But again, I'm really concerned here that they have been unable to get any kind of distance from the Montreal defense to get even a short pass completed. And Milano definitely isn't doing it.
So we'll see 3rd and 10, what's going to happen. And again, Calder moved back, tries again, they go for Milano, but incomplete. So Texas going to have to punt again.
Oh man, words.
Jeez, it seems that they're trying for the big plays, but Montreal are right in there, blocking their paths and not allowing the big pass run, as we see Westmore trying for the kick. And this time it was kicked for 47 yards, but no return from Montreal as they go into start at an excellent field position.
Red Cardinal coming back out again. The helm quarterback. And again, even if you were to mistake the idea of a red feathered character at the, behind the center, it's the fact that he's also much thinner. He's undeniably a different guy lining up there. So I don't know. Maybe Fernandez said something to the coach. I want a little bit of time in this game, and this is the time that he's getting.
So now we see 1st and 10. And Fernandez moves back, complete a pass to you for 9 yards.
Not too bad. The Blues did not shake Serrano off enough to get that extra yard for the first.
So it's going to be 2nd and 1. And Sargosa goes for a rush, 5 yards. It's going to be 1st down.
Woohoo! Cerveza has proven to me that she's got probably just the same vitriol that Lagus has got running through his veins as they pick up that first. Prowler had to, again, readjust himself on that defensive line to make up what was otherwise potentially more yards.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10 in Texas 44 for Montreal. And we see Fernandez move back, going fast for Shea, but it's caught and gets some room, and Shea's going to pick up 18 yards. 1st down, Montreal.
Worked well on that play, was shaking off, again, the idea that you have to throw to the inside to escape the Texas defensive ends. They were running to the outside, and in this situation, they threw it to Shields. Shields turned left and then back to the right and pulled off the outside linebackers enough to get another 10 yards on that run. It was a fantastic pass, fantastic completion.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 in Texas 26. And Fernandez tried to pass for Bronte, but it's incomplete. It was broken up by Prowler.
It's the 3rd straight play that Prowler has been involved in. So I have faith that the Ramblers are waking up, but it might be a little late here as we go under the 9-minute mark in this game.
So 2nd and 10. And Fernandez goes again for a pass by Ellison, but it falls incomplete.
Ellison had an opportunity to make it 2 touchdowns for him in this game. But I think he ran the wrong route there and just got thrown off. So that pass fell behind him.
And now we see Appleby going back for the play. As it's going to be 3rd and 10.
It seems like now that it's 3rd down, they're bringing Appleby back out. They must have realized this was too big of an important play to let the backup quarterback handle it.
So let's see. So Appleby move back, try a pass for King, but it's going to be 5 yards. It won't be enough. So it seems that Montreal is going to kick for a field goal for the first time.
First time the brother of Norberto Martinez is on the field. This is Mr. Solomon Martinez. Brother of the punter Norberto, I should mention. Both donkeys, both in their both getting up there in age, but they still have a lot of years left to go. Just one of those fun brother ensemble stories in this league.
Yeah, so let's see the kick from the Martinez. 38-yarder. And the kick is up, and it's good. 38 yards, so now it's 31-13 for Montreal.
Well, I can't say it's all good news for the Ramblers, as this makes it now a 3-score game. So we're going to hope for quick scores from here on out.
So let's see as everything's set up for the kickoff. And the kick was caught by Milano, and she returns it for a good 28 yards as Texas started their 28.
Forgive me for my rudeness, but probably the best thing that Milano has done all day is get it past the 20-yard line to start this drive.
Yeah, it seemed that the Ramblers' terrifying receiving core has been having a tough day today. So we'll see what's going to do. 1st and 10 for Texas. As Calder tried to rush, but is tackled by Wu Chen once more. No gain.
I mean, there's literally nothing open in the backfield, so he's just taking the snap and running with it. I don't know what causes a quarterback to do that of his own validity, but it's got to be stressful for the wide receivers.
So now 2nd and 10. And we see Rick Ricky going for a rush for 7 yards. So
too bad. It was up 3rd and 3. Squirrels got more or less the energy left in him to get those big yards, so we'll see how this goes.
So 3rd and 3. And we see Corinne going for the snap, and tackled by Abraham. It seemed to be enough, so it will be 1st and 10. 1st down, Texas.
They're lucky. Eddie Abrams had more or less wrapped up. Couldn't handle 2 players at once and let Curran get the stretch yard he needed to extend that drive.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10 on Texas 39. And it's Curran again for a rush. 5 yards. Tackled by McDonough.
Yeah, McDonough. Orville McDonough has been in the league since the beginning of time, but for the most part has been a solid part of the Ramblers defense. Today he's kind of shown his age, unfortunately.
So he's going to be 2nd and 5.
Sorry, the Royal defense.
And it's Calder that's trying to complete a pass to Milano as he goes for 13 yards, a 1st down.
She caught it! Marty, she caught it!
Oh, indeed.
It was for a first down of all things.
Yeah, finally, something finally clicking for Milano. As now we see the Texas setting up for 1st and 10.
To be fair, Milano had been wide open. The defensive end was probably 20 yards away. So that's like a practice pass.
And it's going to be a rush by River, but only for 1 yard. 2nd and 9.
Just under 5 minutes now left.
2nd and 9. Calder tries for Milano again, but this time it's falling complete.
Oh man, I spoke too soon.
Now it's going to be a 3rd and 9 in Montreal territory. Let's see what the Ramblers are going to do.
Watch out for the tight ends.
And Calder moves ahead, tries to get to Palanturas, and like you said, but it falls incomplete. And now, judging for what's going on, they bring the kicking team up.
Nope. Yeah. The unfortunate thing is here, I think it might be just too little too late. I don't like the idea of ever punting when you're behind in the 4th. But, man, they'd have to do something miraculous to prevent Montreal from scoring yet again, being at their 41-yard line. So
yeah. So we see Westmore going for the kick. And it's going to be out of the field. It's going to be a touchback. So Montreal starting at the 20 with 1st and 10.
Montreal got this in the bag. Don't fumble.
So Appleby moved back, goes for you, but it's incomplete, broken up by Serrano.
This defense stepping up there to get in front of the hyena. Excuse me, not the hyena. The leopard. And managing to knock that down.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10. And then it's I see it was Fernandez that returned for the play, try for Ellison. But it was incomplete as it broken up by Menard. So it's going to be 3rd and 10.
They're good solid.
3rd and 10 for Montreal.
Vesa lining up in the backfield in place of the Gustica again.
And Silver St. D gets the ball, but it's going to be not enough. 5 yards, so Montreal's going to punt.
They're 3 and out for the Royale, but they're just putting in their time at this point. They've got a good, solid lead. I'm not worried.
So it's going to be a kick by Norberto Martinez. As Martinez go for a short kick, as there won't be any return for the Ramblers, as the Ramblers going to start at their own 36.
Now, around this time of the game is when I start to kind of just reevaluate how we've gotten to this point. And again, credit goes to the Royale defensive game, especially the backfield, which has prevented Calder from really throwing or completing any passes in this game. He's just looked off all day.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that Montreal had the perfect the defensive plan to try to stop the Ramblers passing offense, as the big bombs never happen for the Ramblers almost all game. So let's see what's going to do. 1st and 10.
Well, I think the strategy was to cover Knight first and foremost, and to deal with the rest as it's come. And Andrew Calder is used to throwing to Knight whenever he gets the opportunity, but he hasn't had those opportunities today.
So Calder moving back, and he tried to go for Campbell, but it was dropped, incomplete.
Resorting to throwing to the young rookie Fox there seems like a great idea, but he just doesn't have the experience yet. And this is a big game for these younger players.
Yeah, so it's going to be 2nd and 10. And we see going for Koran, but again, nothing happened. Bedard was right on it, so nothing happened. So it's going to be a 3rd and 10.
The checkmate is having no room to run in a 2nd and 10 situation with 3 minutes left, and the Montreal's defensive line barely even sticks out of line to tackle you.
So
I don't know.
It's going to be 3rd and 10. And Calder again, spin pressure, trying to pass. Go for Milano, but once again, dropped. Incomplete.
Really should have started a counter, Marty. Many times will Milano drop the pass.
So now it's going to be 4th and 10 for the Rambler. Let's see what they're going to do.
Gotta go for it.
And it's going to be a pass to Curran in the back lane. Going to rush, but no! Stuff at the line by the Duck. It's turnover and downs, ball for Montreal.
There's your dagger. I think that's it.
Yeah, they try a run again. I wonder why he should be better with the pass, but they went for it. But the defense of Montreal was ready for it, and now we see Montreal taking back the field at the 36. It's going to be a 1st and 10 for Montreal.
Fans are getting on their feet. They're excited.
And it's be a rush by service for 6 yards. Tackled by Tenion as timeout was called for Texas.
Yeah, now that we're kind of, and now that it's starting to show here that the game's coming close to an end, I do want to give credit where it's due. Texas performed the hell out of themselves today. It's just unfortunate that they couldn't get anything going on the air. The Montreal defense was just ruthless, especially in the backfield. Giving all the credit to Isaac Hunt and Claudio Fox. Those two have been busy.
Yeah, and now we see as he go for 2nd and 4. And Cerveza gets the ball again as she goes a little bit of run, and it's 12 yards, 1st down as Texas called for a 2nd timeout.
Rachel Cerveza, what do you think about her? She's been dominant when she's been on the field. Almost more dominant than Lagustica.
Yeah, I mean, it's her day. It's her day in the spotlight. She's probably going to cherish this moment, and her future is to going to be very bright after that, as now it's 1st and 10 in Texas 18.
Absolutely. She's shown that she could be starter just as much as Lagustica, at least today.
Service win again as for 6 yards as the Ramblers take their final timeout. Now it's going to be 2nd and 4 at Texas 12.
Less than 2 minutes. You can just tell from the sidelines too. I get the feeling like the Ramblers are ready to end this game. This pain.
Yes, indeed. That's now a service went again for 6 yards. As is going to be 1st and goal at the Texas 6.
Ideon's 3rd tackle in 4 plays. He's the only one basically left trying to salvage any of this pride.
Yeah.
The Ramblers defense. It's been a rough game.
So it's going to be 1st and goal.
We knew. This is the FurBowl. We knew this was going to be tough.
And yes, and now it's Lagustica again. Try for a touchdown, but stopped short by McIntyre for 3 yards.
All right. So it looks to me like Montreal isn't satisfied with ending this game yet. At least Ramblers aren't stopping them from getting down to basically the 3-yard line.
Yeah, so now it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Less than a minute now.
And then it's going to be Cerveza moving to the left, and it's good! Touchdown, Rachel Cerveza!
Oh! And they do it! It's a humongous exclamation point for the Montreal Royale offense.
The dagger there, it wasn't before, it's now a double dagger. as Silvestre run for our second touchdown of the game.
Second touchdown of the game from 3 yards out, or we consider backup running back.
Yes, and now as Martinez go for the kick, and now it's good. It's now 38-13, in which might possibly be the final score of the game, but we'll have to wait and see, as there's still going to be a kickoff happening.
The Ramblers are just, they look defeated. They're exhibiting those qualities of what I would say is unfortunately the end of their championship run.
Indeed.
They come out here to basically beg for mercy in these last 14 seconds. Can they maybe get a Hail Mary? That would be kind of cool, but
the kick.
So over.
Well, as you said, kick by Martinez in the end zone, but Merano will kneel for a touchback. So there's only 14 seconds left. Will the Ramblers at least try to do something for pride here?
Pride is certainly missing.
Yes.
I imagine they'll come out of this experience much better team regardless of how they perform today. Again, this was a really hard fought game.
Yeah, so I would say the final play of the game.
There's out there tonight.
And Calder moves back. Every time he moves back, and he pass goes for Knight. Now he running a little bit, but stopped by On, and it's over.
It's over.
Montreal, the Flows Trophy is going north of the border. Your FurBowl VI champion, the Montreal Royale.
It is finally there. After 4 long years, Royale have the trophy in their paws.
And now we see as the confetti goes on the field, as the field is gathering people. Machocha is getting his bat on the sideline as royal purple, gold, and white confettis everywhere.
Gonna get buried in it. No one is happier than Lagustica to see him doing his dances in the end zone. You see that?
Yeah. He's starting the dancing, and I don't think the dance going to stop all day, all night. But this is it. Montreal, after a bad stretch, a bad season with cause of the injury, bounced back this year, and there was some question, inconsistency, but eventually the team clicked when they needed the most. Had quite a dominating playoff, and it ended here as they take out the defending champs. As you see the Ramblers side, of course, being so close to repeat, yet so far.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations to the Montreal Royale, first and foremost. Secondly, the Texas Ramblers, bless their heart, they had every intention to make this the first two-peat in history. I don't know what happened. Certainly, this will be discussed for weeks on end after this game. The Ramblers did everything they could today. I have no doubt. And unfortunately, it was just not enough. The Royale came out here with one goal. It was to win. He wanted the trophy for the first time in their franchise history. We know what this franchise has gone through. We know what they've been capable of. They've just had several unfortunate past events happen. As you mentioned, Appleby's previous injury. We didn't know what he would come back to this year. We didn't know how he would play. And, some injuries, you stagnate. You can't get back to a previous form. Well, he proved today that even if he felt any sense of a lacking thereof, you can do it. You can come back from injury and you can win the FurBowl. So congratulations to all the Montreal fans out there. I am there with you cheering.
Yes, and like I said, for the Ramblers, them too, they had such a run. I mean, for a stretch of the second half of the season, you will swear that they won't even get to the playoff. But yet they proved that they didn't win last year's trophy for nothing. Had quite big gains during the playoff. They beaten good dominant defense in Miami in their divisional.
Absolutely.
And then they put on quite one of the greatest games we had in the UFFL so far in the conference championship against Fargo. And they fight and they got back here, but again, they kudos to the Ramblers. It's such a hard work to get back in their position, and yet it seems this year it goes for the Royale.
I mean, we saw it in the championship for the Royale. They readily handed Asheville defeat that game, so they were already on the up and coming to this game. They brought that momentum with them, and they handed the Ramblers their first, hopefully last consecutive game where, essentially they had to fight from behind. More or less that, I'm talking from the perspective of Ramblers now. They had every intention to win today. It just didn't happen. I can't be more than excited and happy for, yet again, another new champion. And one where we look to the North, outside of the United States, the first champion team not come from the United States of America. It's a special moment.
Yeah, and now we see as the players are gathering at the center platform down at the field, our fellow commissioner, Phytos, is going to hand over the Flows Trophy to the Montreal Royale and also announce this year FurBowl MVP.
What a game! Congratulations to Benoit and Matthew for winning Montreal's first FurBowl and for bringing the Floss Trophy home to Canada for the first time. What an amazing turnaround for your team and your fans over the last few years. Congratulations and enjoy your first Floss Trophy in Montreal. Ladies and gentlemen, your FurBowl VI most valuable player and winner of a brand new 2020 Bridge F300 Super Bronco, Montreal running back Rachel Cerveza.
And well, as we see Montreal celebrating tonight, the FurBowl MVP is Rachel Cerveza, running back for Montreal, and I think it was well deserved.
That would not have been my choice initially, but as we've seen today, she came in when, either it was giving the break to Lagustica or maybe there was equipment issues. I think there were a couple times there where we were concerned about that. She came in and was dominant on the ground. He would often get 6-7 yards per carry. He ran over the Texas defensive line. And it's exciting to see when a player like that steps up in a big game like this. I do not have any other player in mind, really, who made a bigger contribution today. She had 2 touchdowns and was exclamatory when it came to the morale boosts that she was providing to the Royale offense. So kudos to her. I don't know if this is true or not, but I think she might be the first FurBowl MVP, female MVP that we've had.
Yes, indeed. So it's been quite a game to witness here as like I said, it was a great FurBowl. The first half, first quarter was absolutely crazy with all the turnovers and such. And it's been quite a year, and there's nothing better to end this season as again, Euro champion for this year, 2019-2020 UFFL, the Montreal Royale. It's been Marty.
It's been mad.
And we're going to see you all for season 7 of the UFFL.
Congratulations.
I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. It took all of us behind the scenes a lot of time to do this, and we're quite happy with how the stream has turned out. I should really give most of the credit to Marty, Greg, and Pythos, and the rest of the guys here, because they were doing a lot of work behind the scenes. These guys are the ones that brought you the game. I'm just the guy who edited it together. I may not be involved nearly as much as I once was, but I'm still watching you guys and seeing how the league goes. You guys are what make the UFFL what it is. So, I'd just like to say thank you to you guys for making the league what it is. Congratulations to Montreal on being the winners of FurBowl VI, and go ponies! Anyway, thank you guys for watching the stream for FurBowl VI.